Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of DNA Crows. I am your host, Andrew the Comic Crow. And, good going, New York Times. You're able to find some tax returns on Donald Trump. And nothing. All you've kind of proven is the dude does some shady stuff, but nothing criminal again. And I'm reading some of the most fascinating tweets from our politicians stating, well, wouldn't you want to know more now that we know that he lost money? Guys, all you do is lose money. It's freaking Congress. Our government's terrible with money. If anything, you should fit right in. But all joking aside, look, you keep digging stuff up, and it keeps panning out and being absolutely nothing. The Mueller report ran for 2.5 years. We had, even before that, just conspiracy theory, which Maddow is continuously pushing long after it's all been debunked. Well, what's the end game here? I really do wonder. If the New York Times comes out with previous tax returns and finds that there's no criminal activity there, yeah, again, shady business dealings, don't get me wrong. I think plenty of Americans actually cheat on their taxes. But what? What are we trying to do now? Is it just to dig up dirt and make him look bad? I mean, I think you've already done that. I think most people have kind of made their decision on what they think of the guy based on his, business persona and based on the way that he acted in business. And don't get me wrong, the Mueller report came out and it had some pretty negative things about Trump, which is why I'm just baffled by the fact that you think that an unredacted version is going to have worse things in it. Mueller declined to prosecute. I mean, if there was something worse in the report at this point, he would have just not declined to prosecute. I'm so curious. What are we doing now? What's the plan, guys? Please inform the American people. Is it just you're going to continue to screech and and cry and moan? I'm trying not to swear. I really want a video where I'm not swearing in it. But my God, I don't get what your plan is. It just seems like this endless grifting of the American people. So again, the New York Times got the tax returns. It looks like Trump lost somewhere close to about $1 billion over a 10 years period, which, hey, I mean, yeah, it's pretty bad. I don't think I'm ever going to have $1 billion. So, but what? You've proven that what he's not as great of a businessman as he's been claiming, and what's the big revelation here? So I see these tweets from our Congress people going that now that we know that he lost $1 billion, wouldn't you want to see what else is in his tax returns? I mean, yeah, sure, I would. I'd like to see what's in your tax returns too. Every member of Congress, every member of Senate. I would really love to know how Maxine Waters continues to gain wealth while her district continues to suffer. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see Pelosi's tax returns. I'd love to know why, when you go into Congress, you start here and then wind up here and then just keep going up in money. I'd love to know all of this. Here's the thing. There's no legal requirement that says I get to do it. Now, if you want to pass a law as the legislative branch that makes this an actual requirement for everyone, not just the president, do it. Please, I really want to know this information as a voter. I really want to know what goes on with everyone's money. I don't think I have the right to see it. I really don't want people seeing what's going on with my money. But please tell me, what are we doing now? If the Mueller report comes out, you said he was a traitor. He's clearly not a traitor. You want to pin your hats on obstruction and go, well, no. Honestly, let's say that, and here's the thing, he didn't obstruct. I guess he made attempts to, and I guess you can say that is a crime worth going after, but at a certain point, you were going at this guy who was innocent of what you were claiming. Still haven't said an apology to anybody, certainly not to the American people who you actively lied to, Adam Schiff. you piece of garbage. But what now? What's the plan here? Are we just going to keep pointing to things that don't matter and pretend that they do matter? You guys, specifically our Democrats in Congress, you came into power stating that you were going to legislate, that it wasn't just going to be investigation after investigation. All it's been is investigation after investigation. We got like 10 years of tax returns on Trump now, and they don't amount to anything. It never amounts to anything. Look, I think there's plenty of actual criticism to levy at the guy, but where are we going now? I mean, if we're going to hold William Barr in contempt, like, you have the Mueller report. There's some bad things in it. There's plenty of things that aren't favorable to Trump. If you want to impeach, go for impeachment. I certainly don't even want you to have the full Mueller report. I'm actually glad Trump exerted executive privilege and is keeping the full thing from you, because you have enough to go at the guy with. You want the grand jury testimony? You want to get innocent names involved in this? Which is exactly what we're going to do. I already know what's going to happen. You'll somehow weasel your way into it. And then what? You're going to just start leaking out names to the press, having innocent people who aren't even involved, taking the grand jury and leaking out who they are. We know what's going to happen. We know what your plan is here. It's going to be to just continue on this nonsense crusading. Just own up. Take the L. You've lost. Start campaigning. 2020 is right around the corner. I mean, you basically have the tech companies in your pocket. Pick a candidate that's not backwards ass crazy, and you'd probably have a shot. I don't see where you're going with all this. I mean, is the game here that your policies are so bad that you're just gonna run on Orange Man bad? It's been Orange Man bad for 3 years. I mean, if you run another year on Orange Man bad, I mean, you're just driving people away at this point. So I don't know. I hear that it's a legal requirement that we receive as taxes. People are tweeting that out like crazy. It's not. It's not a legal requirement. Now, if you want it to be a legal requirement, stop looking at Trump. Look at Congress. Demand that they legislate something that makes it a legal requirement. Now, when you do that, please make it for every elected official, because I think that's really important that we see where their money comes from. It shouldn't just be the president. It should be every member of Congress, because, again, these Congress people don't have term limits. They just sit in power for the rest of their lives, milking the system. And you're concerned about Donald Trump. Like, clearly he's got a way of making money. He doesn't need to be president to make the money. Let's not even talk about that. But, moving forward, we did a video on impeachment, me and DA Talks, and now we're trying to hold Barr in contempt. What is the end game here? It's like we're trying to make it so impossible to trust our processes that I don't understand what the next step is, other than outright fighting in the streets. At a certain point, you have to acknowledge that Mueller declined to prosecute, regardless of what he thought about Trump. He declined to prosecute. He flat out stated that there was no collusion, which entails, conspiracy to collude with Russia. Now, you want to say that Donald Trump acted inappropriately? Run on that message, fine. But run on some goddamn policies run on anything other than Orange Man bad. You're just going to keep on losing. And here's the thing. I'm okay with it. I'm a conservative. I'm totally fine if you just want to keep on losing. I'm just not okay with the country being torn apart on your absolute stupidity. People, for some, I don't know, insane reason, still trust men like Adam Schiff. Why? Does anybody even know what Adam Schiff stands for? Other than Orange Man Bad, obviously. I don't see what the plan is. I don't see what the end game here is. I feel like we're just going to keep on the idiocy for another year. We're going to go into 2020. Donald Trump's going to win because you guys aren't running on actual policies. And then when he does, you're just going to say that it was... Well, I mean, you can't say it was the Russians again. You're probably going to say it was China or somebody. Let's be honest. You're going to have to choose a new target because we're not friendly with Russia. And our stance in the Ukraine, our stance in Venezuela, they're very anti what Russia wants. So what's the plan here? Who's the next target? Is it the Saudis? Are the Saudis going to be the ones interfering in our election? I mean, come on. You guys need to figure this stuff out. Like, people don't trust you anymore. You got busted on your lies, and now you want to shift it over into obstruction. Now you want to shift it over into his tax returns. Now you're going to do this, and you're going to do that, you're going to do this, and you're going to do that, and blah, 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 blah. Well, when the Mueller report came out, I'll be honest with you, I really thought it was going to be more redacted. I thought that Trump was going to have more stuff covered up. But, I mean, the stuff that's out there is really damaging to his reputation. And rather than just going on that, I mean, if you really want to impeach on that. You can impeach on the guy eating a ham sandwich because you don't like the fact that he put too much mustard on it. There's no grounds that says you can't impeach on just absolutely any nonsense you want to. And you have actual bad stuff in there. So why are you trying to get the names of innocent people involved? It really feels like all you want to do is force the Attorney General to actually break the law, give you the grand jury information, reveal all the means of investigation, completely discredit himself in bowing down to your own will, and then what? It's not going to amount to anything. Just like none of it ever amounts to anything, so why are you still doing it? Look, I wish you all the best of luck. You guys want to be absolute idiots, go for it. You're destroying your own base. You're completely destroying your own party. You ain't going to win in the next election. And, I mean, I guess I'm totally fine with all of that. I really wish you would stop so that we could come together as a nation, so that we could actually have an election between two qualified candidates. And yeah, I'm sure someone's going to make a joke. Trump's not a qualified candidate, blah, 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 blah. But seriously, let me just be frank here. If I had to guess, we're going to wind up into real possibilities here for the Democrats. They're going to choose the establishment pick of Biden and Kamala Harris, or Hillary Clinton, who is refusing to admit that she lost and is actively stating that the election was stolen from her, is going to announce because, she wants to. And we're just going to have a repeat of 2016. You're going to lose. You're going to say it was unfair. Anyways, that's the episode, everybody. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me any opinions you have on this. I'm really interested. If you think the Democrats actually have a plan here, I'm down to hear it. I don't see any logic to what's going on other than just pandering to the base so that, one of the candidates can get the primary and then pretend to be a moderate once the general election comes up, because that's going to happen. All right. Good night.